when you talk about the budget, in time past, there have been issues with the budget. And we have made up our mind, to say that going forward from June 13th, when we came on board, in line with the Renew Hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and in line with our legislative agenda, that the masses of our great country must feel the impact of government. And to that extent, we are out, like you rightly mentioned, that the House is in session as we speak, that today is Friday. So for His Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker, to convene the sitting of the House today shows the seriousness. Again, we as politicians, it is one thing for us to say one thing. It is another thing for politicians to mean exactly what they say. And then sometimes, again, some people mean what they say, but not able, to execute what they meant and what they have said. So this time around, we want to show to Nigerians that the 10th House of Representatives is not only out to mean what they say, but we want to see that what we mean and what we say is exactly what the Nigerian people get at the end of the day.
These are tough times for the ordinary Nigerian. Indeed, maybe even for, the big men, as it were. It still is tough because times haven't been like this. We're talking about shortage of food, prices, rising prices, and people have been calling for any sort of assistance, any sort of palliative. And so, having taken a cursory look at, the budget, do you see that this is indeed being targeted to be addressed? Because everybody is just asking, we just need some relief. Even as we agree that, yep, it's the same all over the world, but these are tough times.
Well, we must all agree that, yes, it has been tough, not just in our country, globally. But the good thing about the situation here in our country is that in the face of the hardship, we are seeing hope. Hope in the sense that we have seen a government that is committed, to its duties, a government that is living up to the expectations of the Nigerian masses. One, the removal of fuel subsidy, which took place after the inauguration of His Excellency President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We have all agreed long time ago that it was necessary, for us to abort that kind of corruption. Every country has record of corruption here and there, but the notorious one we had in the country before His Excellency assumed office, where few individuals, take the resources of the entire country, pocket, for their own use, and sometimes not even some time ago when the past administration was investigating somebody who was once the head of the petroleum ministry. We saw dollars stashed in their homes, diamond rings, when people are actually suffering. So what this current administration has done is to remove fuel subsidy so that this money, savings from this money, can be used to develop the country, provide infrastructure, intervene in the health sector, build roads, improve on our schools, and so on and so forth. And back to the 10th House of Representatives, our legislative agenda. You see, when His Excellency, the President of the country, brought the budget, in his budget speech, he made statements that are in tandem with our legislative agenda. And one of those statements, takeaways from that statement, which His Excellency, the Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, equally pointed out, the issue of the masses' welfare. He said this budget must be targeted at addressing, the welfare of the masses. We in the 10th Assembly are committed, religiously committed, to the welfare of the Nigerian masses. We want to see improvement on our constituent.
Indeed.
We want to see life being transformed from where it is today. And that's why if we go back to the popular song by one of our musicians, the one that says suffering and smiling, this time around, if we are passing through this phase as a sacrifice for the great future that awaits us, one won't be wrong, to say, yes, it is right to suffer and smile. It's just temporary. Yes, we believe that when this 2024 budget is being implemented, and what are we going to be doing in the next few days? We are going to be scrutinizing, every single line, every single detail, to ensure that we don't have duplicity of projects anywhere, to equally ensure that monies budgeted, the figures are right in tandem with current realities. And as a parliament, because it is our duty as representative of the people to make adjustments. So where we see that the figures are too high, we're going to make sure that we reduce them. And of course, where the figures are not okay, based on current realities, we also have a duty as a parliament to suggest to Mr. President that this won't be enough. Yesterday, one of the committees of the House Committee on Works had a public hearing on the issue of concrete road and what do you call the other one?
The asphalt one.
The asphalt, right? And at that public hearing, which I was opportune to be part of, it was agreed that even the 390 billion naira being proposed in the budget for works is not enough at the moment to tackle, the deficit of infrastructure that we have in the country, the bad roads everywhere, and the current high prices of goods and commodities in the market, another thing. So as a parliament, we are going to be looking at some of these issues.
Indeed. And
yes.
What you're talking about now, your programs, your agendas within the House of Reps, of course, is based on the executive and the president's submission. He has to know that all those things are important. So you are going to be scrutinizing, as you said, to make sure that none of these items or these agendas are not given the full value. And you're also, since you've just spoken about scrutinizing it very, very carefully, it seems to me that the principle of accountability that already is embedded in presentation.
Yes, the president mentioned accountability, improve accountability, improve transparency, improve spending on job creation. He said an economy that is job-friendly and provides jobs for the youth. He equally mentioned the issue of spending to improve on both external and internal security. And if you look at the legislative agenda of the 10th Assembly, these are some of our high points. We want to see improved governance, good governance, and we want to see transparency and accountability in the way things have been done in the past. Recently, we had this sectoral debate with the nation's security chiefs. The Chief of Defense Staff was there, Chief of Army Staff, including the Inspector General of Police. They came to Parliament, were asked very sensitive questions that border on the security of this country. And again, you see...